camera vers là. Tourne là, tu peux pas la tourner?
I think we're live now. Let's see.
Stop. Mais c'est quoi comme voilà? Ah, c'est ça. Ok, on revient là. On revient là parce que c'est trop. Ok, c'est bon. Ouais, par contre, il faut me remettre la lumière en face parce que du coup, je n'ai plus de lumière depuis.
Okay, just so you know, people can hear you.
People can hear me? Oh, people can hear me. Oh, okay. Hi, people. Hello.
Well, no, we're not quite on yet, but they can hear you.
Okay.
Here, let me turn the sound off there, otherwise it'll get confusing. And then, why aren't we on Facebook? Just so that we're on Facebook and
YouTube?
Well, I have to figure out YouTube. For some, YouTube doesn't like restream, so I have to do an RMTP thing first. So I haven't figured that out yet. I got a friend trying to help me, but yeah. So next time you come on, get it? Next time, we'll do all three. So let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, the more visibility you get, the better.
Yeah. Let's see. Why isn't this? Oh, there we are. No, that's not right. I don't know. Apparently on Facebook it's slower. Anyway, so let's get started then. Okay, so I'll take this. All right. Just when she's drinking. Hey, does that say smart woman? Your Cope? Oh, no. Does it?
Yeah, I'm a smart woman. Branding.
Okay, I can't read it. Oh, cool. So, hi, everyone. This is Inside Leaders' Heads. It's the interview series that's a companion to my Finding Your Voice series. And basically, I think everyone has a passion or something that makes them tick. And so on this show, what I want to do is I bring on people I admire who are leaders, who I've seen on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, wherever, that just have a voice, a joy. They inspire people. And then we're going to pick their brains. So we're going to go inside their heads and kind of pick their brain on passion and all that kind of stuff. So here, let me put this leader up for a second. So this is Finding Your Voice, Inside Leaders' Heads. And after I'm done introducing, Darine BenAmara will be doing most of the talking, but I just want to kind of introduce the series. So it's part of Finding Your Voice, Inside Leaders' Heads. Don't be a fish trying to climb a tree is a reaction to a quote that is attributed to Albert Einstein, but he actually did not say it. But it's basically says, if you expect a fish to climb a tree, it will not meet expectations for all of its life. So my saying is, don't be a fish trying to climb up a tree. Find your genius, find your passion, live that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is for everyone, including Darine. So I already introduced what is Inside Your Leaders' Heads all about. And so first, I would consider that my introduction too. So now I'm going to let Darine just introduce herself. So let me take this off. So just kind of tell people who you are, like your elevator speech or whatever you want to call it.
So which one? No, I have a couple of elevator speech actually, but no. So hi everyone, my name is Darine BenAmara, and I like to introduce myself as a living proof that when you believe in yourself, you are unstoppable. So Mark, I don't know if you have heard this side of my story, but I was born and raised in the poorest city of France. I was raised by a single mom. So growing up, I had 3 meals a day. My mom didn't. And still, I made my way to Washington, working for one of Barack Obama's advisors. So I'm starting from nothing. And when you have nothing, and especially no money, your only way forward is to be resourceful. So I found in social media an amazing resource since it's free, and it was even more free when we started. Now we know to gain visibility, you have to boost some posts, but still it's free. And so I was able to use this amazing resource that is social media to build a name for myself, build my professional brand, my personal brand, my professional reputation, and then being able to build an international career. So for the past 10 years, I worked and lived in 10 different countries. I had a great career. And then at some point, I realized that what I knew and everything that I had experienced, I wanted to share it with other people and especially with other women leaders. So even though I'm still young compared to most
Me?
people that no, compared to most people that we would consider as leaders. I mean, I've worked at the highest level of politics and business, and I was the only woman in the room, and I was the youngest person in the room. So I was able to learn a lot. I sacrificed a lot of things also. Of course, I made a lot of sacrifices, but 2 years ago, I decided to start the Smart Women Enterprises, which is my coaching company to help other women and other aspiring leaders to climb the ladder.
And is most of your stuff on LinkedIn, or do you have other venues to? I mean,
So
I'm sure
I'm
you have
on.
a website and stuff, but
I
are
do
you on
have a.
Facebook and YouTube? And
Definitely, I'm everywhere.
okay. I figured you would be.
So I'm not as much active as like I could. I'm currently on LinkedIn because this is the platform I have decided to focus on 2-3 months ago. I was on and off on LinkedIn, obviously, but really to commit to it on a daily basis, I started 2.5 months ago, and it's just an amazing platform. This is where we met first through the Growth Academy, but I started actually off on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm also a little bit active on YouTube. Twitter, I know is powerful, but it's not my cup of tea. But so I'm.
Right.
This is one of my objectives for 2021 to be more active on Twitter.
Yeah. What is Twitter? Twitter's 180 characters now. Is that what it is?
I think it's a little bit more now.
Oh,
It's just like this is to me. Twitter is crazy. It's like the craziness, the craziest things are happening on Twitter.
mhm.
But still, I think it's the more you increase brand awareness, the better is for you as a personal brand or as a business brand anyway.
Right. And if you ever seen my posts, 180 characters would be hard for me.
Yeah, you like writing. Then when
Yeah.
you're passionate about writing, Twitter might be a little bit challenging.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll take on the challenge.
Why
So
not?
let's see. I'll put up this one because this just to remind you of the flow. I said this to you before, but so just on the show, we like to explore the passion, like what makes you tick, and then your origin story. So how did you discover it? And then what drives you every day? So your mindset, the smart woman mindset, and then how does
Hmm.
the world see that in what you do? So yes, you have a mindset, you have a passion, but you, as well as other people I admire, somehow, I mean, whenever I think the smart woman, whenever I see those three words now, I think of you because
Ah,
you're
see,
always,
thank you.
yeah, you exemplify those. And so your passion comes through. So not everybody, some people know what their passion is, but they don't always come through. So that's the action part. And then we'll get to the other questions later, but just kind of as a preview, do you think passions change or evolve? So the evolution. And then
Mhm.
what are you doing right now that you're most passionate about? For now, it's kind of like another elevator speech, but really addressed at like what is your core passion, what makes you tick in 3 sentences or less, and then we'll come back to these questions. Remind you. So that is the question. What is like in 3 sentences or less? If you can take more than 3 sentences. I let Ryan McMullen, who was on yesterday, he took more than 3 sentences. So you can take as long as you want. But what makes you tick? What's make the smart woman, Darine BenAmara, tick?
Actually, I can make it in one sentence.
Ooh,
Ooh. It's simply to make a difference in people's lives. Really, that's what makes me happy every single morning when I wake up. During the ups and downs, what keeps me motivated and keeps me moving forward. It's to know that I can make a difference in people's lives. That's what I was doing through my career. My job for those 10 years was to design programs to address the challenges and the barriers that women leaders face in different countries. That could be in the corporate world, in the business world. So everything that I have ever done was to make a difference in people's lives, and more especially in women's lives. And since I started The Smart Woman, actually, it was a way for me to be able to have a stronger and a greater impact in these women's lives, because when you are your own boss, you don't have the limitations that you can have when you design programs for such and such international organizations or institutions. So that's what keeps me going. Honestly, it's simple. It's very simple. That's what keeps me going, like making an impact in people's lives and using my story, my experience, my expertise to help women advance their career. I'm really passionate about it. And at some point in my young life, I was able to turn this passion into my full-time job.
So just so you know, well, two things. One, I'm not a woman,
No.
and two, you make a difference in my life. So
Thank you. Yeah, but
you're hitting.
actually, I receive a lot of comments of people telling me, yeah, but men telling me, yeah, but it's not only women. What you do is not only for women. And no, it's not. Of course, it's not. It's
Right, right.
universal, and everyone is welcome. I work with men? I do work with men. I have clients who are men, and my door is open to everyone. It's just that my focus uh, 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 is woman. But of course, the more people I help and I support and I make a difference for, the better and the happier I am. So thank you for that, Mark.
Oh, no problem. I mean, just so you know, I mean, there's a lot of people. I don't know if you've heard. Oh man, I'm gonna mess up his name. I think it's Mike Metzger. He wrote "Screw Being Shy." It's a great book, but he caters his message towards people who have social anxiety. But
Okay.
his stuff's universal. So your stuff's universal. It's
Definitely, yes.
great. Yeah, it's great to focus on women, but just so you know, even in your focus on women, you're helping us guys too.
I
So
do,
thank
I
you.
do, I do. Thank you, and thank you for all the men. Because actually that's funny. Even though that I have been dedicated my career to supporting other women's professional advancement, my greatest and stronger supporters and mentors have been men since day one, because men also, they want to support other women. They are allies, and I don't know. I mean, it's just beautiful the way we work together and how we can come together and make an impact together. Just like I'm using my voice and my platform just to spread the word out.
Right. So, oh, I know this isn't one of the questions, but when I was listening to what you're saying, I thought of this question. So, do you think that many of your mentors were men because until recently there was a glass ceiling, so there weren't many women up, like in the upper echelons of leadership? So, you think that's part of the reason, or just because there was more men up there, and then now we're breaking through? So, if you were to start today, would there be more women that are mentors? I guess is my question.
If I would start today, I think there would be more women mentors, but still, I do believe there is a lot of men who believe that it's important,
Mhm.
to live in a more equal and fair society. And these men supported me, have been supporting me because they believe in me as a person first, and they believe in what I do also, and they do see the impact, in other people. And so they always have been like supporting me, behind me, encouraging me, opening doors for me, because if I was able to reach the highest level in a such short period of time, it's because uh, those men opened the doors for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think people should just support people. We're all people. Um, yeah. I was just wondering, if the field was different, would there be more women? So that's a lesson in diversity, people. Just whoever you are, whatever
Yeah,
your attributes, just go for it.
open
Become
doors.
leaders,
When
and
you
everybody helps everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And whoever you are, when you have reached a certain level, I think it's very important to give back by
Mhm.
helping other people also to climb the ladder.
Yep, I completely agree. Great. That's so. I mean, it became more than one sentence, but I get the one per
Yeah,
sentence
but we
is
went we
helping
went over
people.
that. Yeah, we went
No, that's
the
fine. Yeah.
extra mile.
Yeah, no problem. So that like you kind of alluded to uh, your origin story that you're raised in France by a single mom, and then you've lived in what did you say, 10 countries in the last how many years?
10 years.
Oh, okay, wow. And
Now that
then
would be 12 years. Now that would be 12 years now.
okay, so just kind of maybe give us a Reader's Digest or brief version of that origin going through it. Like
Mhm.
maybe what did you learn in each country, or why did you go to each country, and that kind of thing. And then how does that you kind of already kind of talked about your mindset, but really reiterate how your passion for helping people advance in their lives, how that passion, how that drives you every day. And then also on the flip side, in your actions and words, how do you see it reflect, like on your clients or whoever you help? How do you see it in the everyday world? So that's
Mhm.
three things, but they kind of all go together.
Sure. So
And I
first
can
of
bring the
all,
screen back up if you need it.
yeah, I like to see you. So actually, because I was born and raised in a rural town, actually, so growing up, we didn't have a lot of options as to what we would become as a professional. We were very limited. But inside of me, I always knew I was meant to be someone different. I was meant to do something different, something bigger, but I didn't know what it was. But I knew it deep inside. I knew it. And so then I went to university. I'm the first person who went to university. My parents didn't go. They didn't even go to high school, I believe. No, they didn't go to high school. So they didn't get like an extensive education because they had to work and they have to find their way out. So I went to university, and then once again I knew I could do more than that, and I didn't want to be limited. If there is a pattern with me, is that I didn't like to be limited to do something. And so then the opportunity like presented itself for me to go to university in Canada, and I went to university in Canada, and I studied international relations, diplomacy, and then I realized that okay, with what I know, I can have a voice, and I can use this voice to make a difference in the world. This is how it all started. So then I started traveling, working for international organizations, for business organizations, from a country to another, as I said, to design programs to help address the challenges and barriers faced by women leaders. So what was interesting during this journey is that no matter what country I worked in, the culture, the religion, the language, I realized that we women, we were facing the same challenges, but at different levels. And I was like, okay, so how come a woman in North America and a woman in West Africa and a woman in Europe, and other part in the Caribbean, also I was based in Jamaica, like how come I'm having the same conversations? Like really? And that's when I realized okay, this is more than me, this is more than what I'm doing, like all over the world, all over the world, like we are facing the same challenges. So I decided to come back to Canada and to start my business. So now let me give you an anecdote. Why I called my business The Smart Woman, because that's a question
Yay.
people are like, why The Smart Woman, like, but at least you remember it, because people when they see me now, they call me the Smart Woman. And
Yeah.
so that's the power of branding. But I was doing research, and I came across a study that was saying that across all the media and entertainment, so it was 3 years ago, all the media and entertainment, only 1% of women are portrayed as smart. So you will
Oh,
see.
really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
they did a study, an extensive studies, like across different countries, different, factors, different media channels. But the bottom line is 1% of women are portrayed as smart. So you will see women for their beauty routine, their healthy routine, their fitness routine, whatever routine. But when it comes to our contribution to economic growth or the well-being of our societies, apparently,
That's across all media?
yes,
Wow.
yes.
All
Uh,
media, all countries worldwide.
Yeah,
1%.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So it wasn't all the countries of the in the world in the study, but like it was a bunch of countries.
Yeah.
And so I
Wow.
was like, that's unfair. And so okay, so if
That's an
society,
understatement.
see, so if society doesn't recognize me as a contributor to the economy, then I'm gonna make a statement. And I'm gonna claim that I'm a smart woman. And I want all the women who interact with me, my content, who work with me, who attend my events or my workshops or become my clients, to realize that they are a smart woman and that yes, they are contributing to the well-being and of our economy. The society doesn't want to recognize it. Fine, I'm here, I have a voice, I can make a statement for myself. So that's
Wow.
how it all started. So see, it's not just a perception. It's
Right.
not just like something that a few people are thinking. This is a reality. And there are like hundreds of studies.
When you were talking, the hair on the back of my neck kind of went up in excitement because I think in promotion and video production and that kind of stuff because that's what I like to do. So I thought of you having testimonials of your clients. So women come on there and they do their testimonial, and every single one of them ends with, and this is what I learned from Darine and the smart woman. And then they end staring right in the camera going, I am a smart woman.
So actually,
And then you bring up your logo.
that's amazing. But actually, in all my events, I mean, when hosting events was a thing, since we cannot
Right,
host
exactly.
in-person events for the moment, I don't know for how long, but that's something that I would ask during workshops, conferences, masterclass. I would ask all the attendees to stand up and say out loud, "I'm a smart woman," because
That's great.
I strongly believe in the power of words and the power of self-talk. And there is always men, of course, attending my events. And I'm like, okay, ladies, I want you to hear that. For the gentlemen, you do you. And that's it. But this is where it all started. And I realized that me working at the highest level of business and politics, I was the only woman in the room and I was the youngest person in the room. And I realized, okay, this is not something that I'm the only one that I have faced. Like a lot of women are facing this. So let's work on this. So I decided to start the Smart Woman and to train and coach women leaders on, networking strategies, branding strategies, and especially personal branding strategies. So this is where my passion became my full-time job, and this is how I take action every single day when ensuring that I do provide value to the online community, and you're part of this community. So every morning I want to ensure that I will share something that will bring you value as a person, something that you can implement, something that you can think about, something that can push you to reflect on a few things that you have been doing and how you can get better at it. So that's really how I see the actions that I'm taking making an impact in people's lives. And I do practice what I preach. I think you have noticed this. I think you have mentioned this to me already, but I really practice what I preach. I'm not here to open a book, read it, and tell you, oh, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. No, I have been through it. I have done it. I know what's working. I know what's not working, and we're doing it with my client as well. So that's where I think it's about everything that we are talking about in this podcast, taking actions, the mindset, the passion. I think when it all come together, it becomes very powerful, and when it all comes together, you are unstoppable.
Yep. I mean, I've never been to one of your events. I've seen like clips from them, but I can attest to the audience. I've read, I can't say with 100% certainty that I've read all your posts, but I think I've read all your posts and seen all your videos on LinkedIn. And you do practice what you preach. And I don't know how you do it because I'm like really bad. Obviously, you can see I'm like looking over here because I can see your eyes in the video. So it looks like I'm looking at you, but I'm not looking at the camera. So the audience is like, what is he doing? But I mean, when you do your videos and stuff, I feel like I'm there with you. I feel like you're speaking from the heart, and you're touching my heart, and you inspire me. So I mean,
Thank
that's
you.
one of the reasons I want to have you on the show. So I think you are living it. So that's good. So
Yeah,
check her out, the smart woman.
but you get better when practicing. So you
Yeah,
started, and your online presence, your presence on camera is getting better and better. And you just have to. There is no secret, actually. There is no secret sauce. There is no magic formula. There is better formula. There is a better strategies. There is better ways to do it, of course. But you get better as you practice. So, and none of us has it perfect anyway out there. So as long as you try, and that's what matters.
cool. So how do you? I mean, you talk. Let's hold on. Let me go back just to remind myself, since my mind wanders sometimes. So I think you really hit like the mindset and your origin story and what your passion is, and you've gone into this a little bit, but let's explore that a little more. So, um, how does you've already talked about how you impact the world and you can see it, but let's talk about that a little more. Like, if you can, maybe an example here and there of like your greatest triumphs, like your clients that have really broken through without, I mean, obviously you can't divulge who they are, but if there's any stories like that, just like how does the world see you? Like, for example, let's say you went on a 6 month vacation, let's say, but you left a ripple in the ocean. So how do we see that ripple in the ocean, the people you've impacting the world?
I
How do
can
you
give
see
you a
you in the world?
concrete example, actually, because I
Okay.
wasn't 6 months in the ocean, but I was on a business trip to West Africa in February this year when the COVID-19 started. And so I was stuck there for 7 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it wasn't planned. I was supposed to go a few weeks and come back. And actually, I just came back to Canada mid-September. So I spent I spent 7 months in West Africa. And while I was there, I couldn't work on my business here because my priority, honestly, was to find a way, to organize myself, to settle down, to see what to do. I had no money coming in because my business model was based on in-person event,
Right.
and so on. And I was expanding actually in West Africa, following the same business model. So I found myself for 7 months in a country that I didn't plan to live in,
Right.
while my business model just collapsed and I had no revenue. So my priority was to find a way to live, to survive, and to make the best out of this experience. So I wasn't working on the business here in Canada while I was there.
Right.
And
But you're huge in West Africa now, right?
sorry?
You're huge in West Africa now, correct?
Oh, no, 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 no. Not yet.
Oh,
But that's the plan. That's the plan.
okay.
um, and um, and so there was a client of mine. So she wasn't a client of mine anymore when the COVID-19 and everything happened. But just to give you an example, that when you change someone mindset, when you provide someone with the right tools and the right resources and the right strategy, how it can just like change your life. So she was a business owner, small business owner here in Toronto. And she was well known in the community, but then I decided to work with her to start building her personal brand, because I knew that she had a political aspiration, right? So I was, but you need to position yourself, you need to make yourself visible, and you need to build your professional reputation outside of your business. And so we worked a couple of months, almost 6 months, 7 months, maybe together, 8 months, I don't remember. So in 2019, the entire
Mhm.
year. And then 2020 happened. And when I came back, actually, I just learned that she was running for office. So it worked. It worked. So all the seeds, I see my job as planting seeds. Planting seeds. I help you plant the seeds, and then I provide you the tools and the resources that you need to grow those seeds into something beautiful and powerful for yourself, and into something that will help you advance your career. That's really how I see my job. And this is exactly what happened with her. I have another client of mine. Um, her story is just amazing, and she's a registered massage therapist, and she has a specialty, which is that she works with people who have a special condition. And it happens that she decided to focus on these special conditions because she suffers from these special conditions herself. And I told her that we should use her story, if she was willing, of course, to talk about it, which she was, obviously, to use her story to position herself as, yes, she's more than an RMT. She's doing this, but because she's living it too. And
Right.
you know, the impact that it can have on her audience and clients, it's so much bigger than just being an RMT. So that's how we worked together. And when I came back from Africa, she told me that she got, on top of her practice, she got a contract with one of the major hospital here in Toronto, where she helps people with this specific condition. So the power of personal branding is unlimited. I just wish I could express it and make people realize how much powerful and how much it can advance your career, to build your personal brand, to build your professional reputation, and to position yourself in a space where you can stand out from the crowd. So that's what personal branding is about. That's what I do for a living, and that's the kind of impact that you can see in my former clients, current clients. That's just life changing, you know.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I'm a gardener.
Yeah, Gardner, and you help water too. So I mean, I think I know the answer to this question already, but I'll just pose it to you to answer. So when you were talking those things, I thought of like three words. One is authenticity, um, congruence, and personal power. So it seemed like the personal branding. So the question is, do you think everyone's personal brand comes from personal experience, what they are being congruent and authentic? Is that
Yeah.
personal brand? Everybody, are those elements of personal branding? If those are them or more, I'll shut up now because I'm convoluting the question. What are the elements in personal branding?
So actually, there is three pillars to your personal brand:
Okay.
what you are passionate about, what you do for a living, and what you want to be known for. And those are the three elements that every single of one of us have, that we live in a single day, every single day, and that we need to be self-aware of. You know, I often talk about self-awareness because I can give you the best tools in the world. I can provide you the best resources in the world. It won't work until you are self aware of your potential, your strengths, and your weaknesses, but especially your potential to achieve anything you want in life. And this is where the biggest challenges is for most people. Like, are you aware of your strengths? Are you aware of your weaknesses? You know, you can get better, you can, get greater at your strengths, and then your weaknesses you can outsource or, share it with other people. It's not about building a personal brand. It's not about being perfect or being so successful or being, this like perfect fancy person, always. I mean, I like to look good on camera, but sometimes I don't feel like I want to put makeup on, and I just still show up because, I don't look like I don't put makeup on every single day. So it doesn't mean that I don't want to show up because this is not the reality. It is a reality. This is real life. This is where authenticity comes, right? But it all comes back to self-awareness. And once you are self-aware, then we can work on your strengths. And me as a gardener, my favorite movie actually is The Constant Gardener. I don't know if you have seen it, but this is my favorite movie, and I relate a lot.
I think I have.
Yeah, so that's a completely different story. But as a constant gardener, actually, and that's what we call otherwise the compound effect. The every little things that you do on a daily basis are what make you you, right? And this is your personal brand. Now it's about being able to put it together and to put it out there in a way that help you to build your professional reputation. A lot of people don't think they need a personal brand, and a lot of people don't like the term personal brand. It's like, oh no, it's trending, it's not for me, blah blah blah. But listen, your personal brand is your professional reputation. You have to think about it this way. And the best way to build your professional reputation is by being out there and sharing a little bit of who you are. I mean, you are much more than your job title. Your job title mean nothing, actually, I think. Uh, you are a person, you have emotions, you have feelings, you share vibes with others, you make people feel a certain way. So it goes way beyond like what you do for a living. That's why the three pillars to your personal brand is what you're passionate about, what you do for a living, but you are much more than your job title, and what you're passionate about, what you do for a living, and what you want to be known for.
Cool. I'm putting that in a caption because I think that's important. What you want to be known for. I probably shouldn't be doing this during the show, and this is why I need a producer.
That's okay. But it's also something that I can add while you are typing is think about it as an in-person relationship. Would you like to hang out with someone who keeps talking about work, work, work from Monday to evening? Probably not. You want to talk about something outside of work. Of course, you want to talk about work, but you want to talk also about what you like, what you do outside of work, what you're passionate about, what you're upset about, what is annoying, those kind of stuff. So they are your personal brand. Now it's about, building a plan and a proper strategy for you to put it out there, so to put it online in a way that is relevant to what you want to achieve in life.
Cool. I summarize them: passion, do, and want to be known for. The three pillars. I like those.
Yeah, what you do for a living, what you're passionate about, and what you want
Yeah.
to be known for. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It's very succinct. I love it. Cool. Let's see. Let's go to the questions. I think you've answered all those, the ones so far fully. Oh, let me take that caption off for now. I'll put it back on. So, yeah, I think you've hit mindset. Oh, by the way, hold on. I had one. I know it's not dealing with this, but so what's this? Is aside from the 7 months, do you live in West Africa prior to going there, or what was that relationship? How did that happen?
I had been there previously, so I've worked in 4 or 5 different African countries, I believe. So I had been there, and I love Africa, actually. I love Africa, and I like being there. It's warm all year long. So, like just in Canada, it's a little bit cold, like half of the year it's cold. So I
Right.
like to travel to warm countries, of course. But yes, I was there. I worked there. I worked in different countries for different organizations in Africa, and then I came back there as my uh, as the owner of the Smart Woman, and I wanted to expand the market there. What I love about Africa is that first of all, there is a lot of opportunities, but also I like it because you can have the same like living standards that you have here in North America, in most of the biggest cities. So I like going there, and I appreciate the culture, the people, and the opportunity of doing business there. The business culture though is completely different. So that's something. But as a business owner anyway, being flexible and being able to adapt to different market it's part of the job anyway. So I like going back there, and so I found myself stuck there. I think everything happens for a reason. So maybe going there for a few weeks wasn't long enough, and staying there for a couple of months
Right.
helped me, to better understand the market, to better understand the business culture, and so on.
Do you think there's a lot of opportunity there?
There
Yeah.
are like a lot of opportunities, but once again, to be real with you, I have seen a lot of companies, North American companies, Canadian or American companies, going there and failing because but most companies go there like trying to do business the same way they would do business in North America, but
Right.
this is not North America, and I think this is nothing related to Africa. It's just like it doesn't make business sense to expand your market outside your frontier and try to do it the same way you would do it back home, right?
Right. What do you think it's transition? I mean, a lot of, I'm going to guess here, but I would say last 10 or 20 years, most people's impression in the West, well, and Europe for that reason, of Africa, they always thought of it as colonial, meaning that Western countries and European countries went there and kind of tried to rule. And that's done. But I think we still have that carryover where
Uh,
we think, oh, well, we're going to go in there, we're going to be who we are, and you're going to like what we do. Where that's not it. It's like, let's figure out the personality and
yeah.
the culture of Africa and do it their way,
Yeah.
not our way.
I think there is a lot of misconceptions actually about Africa, probably because of the reasons you mentioned.
Mhm.
Uh, but not only, I think, uh, um, but yeah, I mean, you would go to an African country the same way you would go and do business there, the same way you would go to, I don't know, an European country and try to do business there. So, the culture, the social reality is different, the business culture is different, the business laws, like the regulations are different. And so going there and thinking because you are from the West and it's enough to succeed, you're gonna fail miserably. Like
Right.
there is no secret or no hiding there. I mean, you got to put the work into it. It's like me coming from, I don't know, from France. I come to North America and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be successful because of this, because I'm French. I
Right.
mean, no one cares that I'm French. No one cares. People care about my expertise, how I can help them to get the results they are looking for. How That's what people are looking for. Then that you are from this country or this country, we don't care. And thinking that coming from the West going to Africa it's enough to be successful, that's completely inaccurate.
The, okay, this has nothing to do with anything aside from language, because I'm like fascinated by all kinds of language. So when you moved from France, um, and you went to Quebec, what was your first experience of Quebecois? Is it different enough that it kind of like, what the heck? That's not French.
Yeah, no, I couldn't understand that
Oh,
first.
really?
Yeah,
Couldn't even understand it. Wow,
yeah,
that
it's
much different.
completely different. Uh, yeah, it's completely different. I think they have maintained a French that we used to speak maybe in France like centuries ago.
Oh, wow.
But because this is history, right? This is history, and actually Quebec, hundreds of years ago, where the place where France would send their prisoners, and
Oh, really? Like kind of
yeah,
like England's
so
Australia.
probably. And so then they have this French, I would say, back in time maybe, and they maintain and they perpetuate it like this this French. That's it. But for real, when we get there, like for the first time, no, we can't understand right away.
So now, have you been corrupted? Do you speak Quebecois, and then you go back to French, and they're like, Darine, what are you talking about?
No, actually, I didn't stay long enough in Quebec
Oh, okay.
to be influenced. I quickly moved down to Toronto. So Toronto is an English-speaking
Yeah. Toronto's
city.
one of my favorite cities in the world.
Ah, yes. See, I was on a live stream with Isabella earlier, and she was telling me the same thing, that Toronto is her favorite city in the world. So, see?
Oh, it's one of mine. I mean, nothing against Toronto, but I like Vancouver too.
Oh, okay,
And
okay. Vancouver is beautiful too. Yeah.
and one of my best friends is from Red Deer, Alberta.
Okay.
So, um, but that's just a good city just because she's there. Anyway, so sorry for the aside, but I just sometimes my mind whoop. Um, So the last question before you get to do selfless or shameless self promotion is, what are you doing now that you're most passionate about, and that it might actually lead to your master class, which we'll talk about soon. But just you, I mean, you've talked about all kinds of stuff, but is there any like single thing where you're building your brand, you got the smart woman, you're building your master class, you're doing all those things, but is there like one thing that just like makes you jump out of bed and going, this is the great thing? Or is it a whole collection of smart women, or is there one thing that's higher than
Hmm.
everything?
You know, the good thing, so being an entrepreneur, owning a business, either a business coach or a physical business, it's a roller coaster. So there is a lot of ups and downs, a lot of downs, lows that are very lows. But the advantage of being your own boss is to get to do and to get to pick up to do what you love the most, right? So
Yeah,
really, the smart woman as a package is what makes me happy every single day. And that's what helped me, to keep going. Even I told you my business model collapsed, and I could have like stopped and go back to the corporate world. That's
right.
something I thought actually to do at some point, because it was so hard. But because I'm so passionate about everything that I do inside of the smart woman, that I'm like, no, I can't give up, and I ain't giving up. And so, like, every day lately, if there is one thing that stands out from the rest, is just like going on LinkedIn and building relationships on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an amazing platform. I just love it. I just love it. This is amazing. And that's it, and I would go just there, and that's the first thing that I do in the morning after my morning routine. When I turn on the computer, I open LinkedIn and answer to the comments, and it makes me smile. It makes me smile. And I'm
Yeah,
like, and I'm here with the comments, answering comments, like debating with people.
right.
Still, that's what I like to do, like every day.
Great. Good. I mean, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to give you the
See,
opportunity.
I think the people in my community can see it. They can feel it. Like, I really love it. And then leading to the master class. So I shared the post maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago now, and the
Mhm.
post reached over almost 400,000 views. And
Wow.
yeah, so that's the first time that happened to me. But there was so many interesting conversations about, and it was about women leaders and their visibility, and how being visible can build your credibility as well. So, and there was so much like passionate conversations in the comment, that I decided to do a masterclass on LinkedIn positioning and branding for women leaders. So
You
once
want me to put
again,
up the banner?
sorry.
You want me to put up the banner?
Oh, you can do it if you want.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go.
So, of course, once again, it's open to everyone. But as I'm passionate, about women leaders, being a woman leader myself, it's really about helping you, like branding and positioning yourself to stand out from the crowd, and especially to become the go-to person in your industry. We are in a world that is highly competitive, and the online space is highly, highly competitive, and especially more since the COVID-19. There is a big chunk of people who were not eventually active on social media, who became active on social media, because they understood that being on social media and being active, especially on LinkedIn, was the right thing to do in order to advance your career when you cannot meet people in person anymore. So, but what I realized is a lot of people, they don't know how to position themselves on LinkedIn, how to brand themselves, how to build a professional reputation. So I decided to put together this masterclass. It's a free masterclass to help you, build your brand, connect with people, and start the new year. Start off the new year on the right foot, so you can like have a strong base in 2020 to thrive during the rest of the year.
So did they just look up your profile, type in the smart woman or Darine BenAmara, or how do they
So
get into it?
the best way to find all my content and events and the registration link for the masterclass, for the
Mhm.
free masterclass, is just to type in the hashtag the smart woman simply.
Right
And
on
when you click the hashtag the smart woman, actually
there.
you will see all my content
Oh,
pop up on LinkedIn, and you will find the post. But if you go on my profile as well, you will see the post in my highlight section.
I'm gonna do hashtag the smart woman so everybody can see it.
Yeah, hashtag the smart woman. So follow the hashtag so you get updates of everything that I share and all the online events that I host and
Is
will
that
be
right?
hosting. That's correct, yes.
Okay, cool. Good. All right. So we actually kind of, this kind of drives me because I have ADD, so I go all over the place. Um, so we can actually, this is going to be a double self promotion, so that's good for you. But the last thing, which I totally forgot about, just in everything you've said, if you would you want to end with giving people, like, what advice do you have for others based on your journey? How can people build their brand? How can people, get out there and just be successful? We're
Just
like
start.
the final wisdom of the smart woman. And then we'll come back to the self promotion.
Just do it. Just do
Okay.
it and start.
Hey, wait a minute.
Like,
You're the smart woman, not Nike.
oh, you're right. Just do it. See, but I like Nike. That's probably why.
Oh no, I
But
like just do it. Too.
the thing is, oftentimes when I work with my clients, they want to know the exact type of post and what they should do, how they should do it. But actually, your audience tells you what they like, what they don't like. So you gotta post like and to try and to see what's resonating with your audience and what is not. What are the type of content that are, performing well on LinkedIn, and what are the type of posts that are not performing well, in order to refine your strategy and to refine your message, and to post content that your audience will enjoy consuming. But in order to do so, you have to post and you have to try. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be authentic. You just have to bring value to your audience and engage with them and ask the question. One of the first exercises that I ask my clients to do is to do a poll on LinkedIn. Do a poll and ask the members of your network what type of content they would like you to post. I did it once in terms of the format of content that my audience would like to read. And carousel, I had never done a carousel before, and I asked about carousel, and I realized that carousel popped up, and I was okay, so I'm gonna start doing carousel. And you probably have seen it, all my carousels are performing well, because not because it's coming from the sky but because I asked the question, what do you want to see and how do you want to consume my content? Another thing also that you can do, and this is very practical tip, is to ask the people interacting with your content, okay, what do you want me? Is there a specific topic that you would like me to cover? What would you like me to talk about? It's something that I realized also, and that I didn't do for so long because I didn't know that's how people were perceiving me. A lot of comments that I got back was, you are a woman leaders and you are like from visible minorities, and so we want you to post more content about women in leadership. When, if you look back, my content was specifically on effective networking strategies and
Right.
networking and blah blah blah. But I wasn't talking about leadership because I was like, okay, but that's the feedback I got from my community. So I have started to put more content outside about leadership, and this is where actually my community has been like growing, booming, and that my content was performing better and better. Ask questions and just try it. Start posting today, now.
Yeah, I mean, I post a lot. I have a pretty small audience, but they seem to be pretty loyal. But I don't really have.
But it doesn't have to. It's not. I mean, it doesn't have anything to do with the number of people who who follow you. I mean, I would rather have like 500 people in my community and know that they engage with my content than have like
Right.
100,000 people and very few of them engage with my content. So it's not about the numbers.
Right. Well, that's good. Oh, by the way, so for the audience, Darine is responsible, good or bad, for my carousels because I thought they were like this mysterious, really super hard thing to do, and she was awesome and sent me a video and a message, and then once I looked, I'm like, how easy is that? So all you do is just upload a file PDF, and it pretty much makes the carousel for you. Now you have to make it look nice and all that, but you just upload
It's
it.
simple.
It's that little file icon on the bottom of a post.
Yeah.
You just click on that and add it. Add a little intro message, and then there it is.
That's it.
Pretty
And
awesome.
I like to say I like to keep things simple for myself in my personal and professional life, and also in the way I communicate and I do things. Like things can be very simple and very efficient. Like it doesn't have to be complicated to be good or to be performing. Like it can be very simple and still very good.
I agree. So, look, since we did it before, but now we get shameless self promotion. So I'm going to bring the thing up. If you want to hit the master class one more time, and then I get to do shameless self promotion, except mine's just about the show. But okay, so want me to bring the banner back up or?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hosting this free masterclass on Wednesday, January 6th at 12 p.m. LinkedIn branding and positioning for women leaders. Please register. It's free. I'm gonna share a lot of value. If you have been like consuming my content, you know that I'm no joke when it comes to providing value to the community, and I really want to help as many of you. To kick off the new year on the right foot. So register is free. Bring your pen and paper because you're gonna get some serious notes, and that's it.
How long is it?
It will be 90 minutes. It won't be too long. I want to do it on lunch time, so it will be from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m.
And then is there an opportunity, just because I always think business, that's just the way my brain works, it's an opportunity at the end of the class to go, wow, really connect with Darine, the smart woman, BenAmara. I really like her to be my coach. Is there that opportunity to connect
Yes,
after? Okay.
definitely. Yes. So I keep this for the end of the masterclass. This is something that I'm so exciting about, and I'm so happy to be able to provide it to the people who will be attending the masterclass. So yes, join the masterclass because there is a big offer and surprise for you at the end of the masterclass.
So I just want you to know I'm going to try to go, but I'm saying try because I have a day job. So if I don't have any, that's usually around my lunchtime. So if I don't have any meetings in that time, I'm definitely showing up. I want to, but if I have to work, obviously I got to pay the bills, but I hope I can go.
But like when you invest in yourself and when you set up time aside for your personal and professional development, this is the best investment with the highest and the greatest return on investment. So yes, it's important for all of us to work and we have to pay the bills, obviously. But like don't forget to set aside time for personal and professional development because this is how you're gonna get the greatest outcomes.
Yes, I completely agree. So I just wanted to thank you for coming. The only thing left is I'm gonna share who's coming up next, and then I'm gonna put in my like saying that I say all the time. So you're welcome to stay, but I just wanted to end with the neat content portion of this. I just want to thank you. I admire you. I respect you.
Thank
I love your
you.
content. I just kind of love just who you are. I mean, you radiate.
Oh, thank you.
Like you're always so happy, and yeah, it just seems like you come from the heart. Not a lot of people can express that across LinkedIn or a Zoom or whatever, and I just get, yeah,
Thank you
I
so
love who you
much.
are. It's awesome, and I look forward to getting to know you better in 2021. I look
Mhm.
forward to seeing all your growth, and looking forward to attending your events when I can. So remember, hashtag the smart woman.
Yeah, hashtag the smart woman.
Yeah,
Follow the hashtag so you are up to date with all the content and the tips and tricks that I post out there on LinkedIn.
yeah, it'll be great. So, I mean, you're welcome to stay, but the remainder is I'm just gonna say, hey, obviously, we just talked to Darine BenAmara. Yesterday we talked to Ryan McMullen. Tomorrow we're talking to Jeff Clark. And
Jeff
Friday,
Clark. Jeff Clark and Carl. Oh, I went live with the two of them. I mean, I did like Q&A with the two of them, and they are amazing.
oh yeah, I call jokingly call Jeff Clark my North Star because it seemed like for about a month he was 2 steps ahead of me.
Oh
He's like, no,
yeah.
I'm going to write a book. And I'm like, wait, I'm writing a book. He's going, oh, I'm going to do this. It's like, wait, I mean, not like a bad thing, but it's just kind of fun. And then Carl Sean Watkins, he had a family tragedy. He was going
Yeah.
to be on Monday. He might come Friday. If he doesn't come Friday, I'll get him later. But yeah, he's awesome. He's just, he's like, I don't know, he
He,
just mellows me out. He's very
yeah.
calm. And I
Very
know I can be
calm.
excitable, but
His
whenever I talk to him, it's like,
voice.
oh, I'm
Yeah.
talking to Carl.
Yeah. True.
Hmm,
His voice. His
thank you,
words. I mean, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Really. You feel like at ease and you feel like
yeah,
peaceful when he's
yeah,
around.
yeah. And I always tell him, I go, you know what? You sound like when I was a kid, all the DJs on like the jazz or classical stations. You're just like, this is Carl Sean. I
True.
know, I know. That's what it reminds me of. It's great. And then just like I end I end all of my live shows like this, and also I put this on a lot of my posts. But living your best life creates a better world for everyone, and that's the world I want to live in. I want everybody to find their passion. I want them to live their passion. I want them to change the world, be the change they want to be in the world.
True.
So, and with that, I just thank you so very much. This was great.
Thank you.
I mean, I thought it was going to be great, but it was even greater than the great that I thought it was.
Oh,
How's
thank
that for
you.
a convoluted statement?
Thank
Anyway,
you.
girl,
Thank you for having me and I will see you on the other side on
yes,
LinkedIn.
you will. See you later. Bye,
Bye
everybody.
bye. Bye.
Bye.